Mic is live, the stage is set. Words like fire you won't forget. Every topic, every thread. Living stories in your head. Turn it up, feel the beat ignite. Conversations flowing bright. In your ears, day or night. This is the sound that feels so right. Mic is like the stage is set. Words like fire you won't forget. Every topic, every thread. Living stories in your head.
As always, everything we discuss is for entertainment and is speculation. Please like and subscribe, and definitely join our discussion in the comments. If you're ready, let's get into it. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Typically Unique. I'm Kim, half of Typically Unique. Carlos is working. Hello, hello. I hope everybody's having a great day. It just started snowing over here, like a lot. The road's already starting to get covered. I'm like, yikes. So today, I'm going to focus the beginning of this show on making another comparison. So many of you probably have heard of that Texas A&M cheerleader, college student that they're saying jumped to her death at when did it happen? The day after Thanksgiving or something like that. Her family now has a prestigious defense attorney, and that's why I put on my thumbnail that it just slaughters the police department in his press conference he did. So, everything that when I make these comparisons, I'm thinking about the Idaho 4 case, and it's just, I want to know your guys' thoughts on, he's a private defense attorney. He's going to speak all about his thoughts and everything. And, but my big question for this is why do these private attorneys seem to be able to go public, stand at the podium, hold press conferences, be pretty aggressive in their talk, and then like Brian Koberger has a state appointed defense attorney, and I don't know, you can let me know in the chat, like, do we ever hear state appointed defense attorneys like holding press conferences? I don't know. All right. I'm so happy to see people in here. Let's see. Hello, Tomboy. I saw you in here. Ro. Witchy. Good morning. Good morning. I saw Hemisphere. Hello. I've been seeing you in a lot of chats. We're trying to get everything we can on this Idaho 4 case. And I did want to talk about Devil's Advocate also. Oh, my goodness. He is on a mission. I kind of respect that. True Justice with Anna D. Hello, hello. And let's see. Christina, I don't want to miss you. RJ Anderson, hello. The cops. Wait till you hear this defense attorney. Oh my gosh. I know it's another case and it's not Idaho, but I'm like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. So, there's a couple little things that I hope you don't mind if I show you real quick. So, where do I have it at? I made a little mascot. Oh no, he's not in here. What did I do? I hope I didn't start. Did I start the wrong stream? No, I don't think so, because it kind of counted down right. Oh wait, no, here he is. Here he is. I'm still learning these tools, you guys. I'm still learning these tools. Okay, so this little guy is called Side Eye. Side Eye. So every time we see something in this case, this is what
we're side eye. Criminal offensive side eye. Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
So his name's Side Eye. Side Eye. Yeah. My daughter thinks I'm cringe. She thinks that's cringe. I said, I don't care. He's cute and cool. Dude's wearing like a leather jacket. He's got blue hair. Definitely unique. Unique. So that's why we have the unicorn, right? Doing things a little unique over here. Okay, so shout out to Devil's Advocate. Let me know in the chat if you saw his video last night. He filed a request. It's a request, so he made that perfectly clear. To, I believe, the Attorney General and directly to Moscow Police Department, ISP. Like, I could be getting the agencies wrong, exactly who he sent it to. I do know he also, you saw it, Hemi, good. Yeah. Crazy. He's on a mission. He also copied all the major networks, so that'll be interesting to see if any of them come out with segments talking about it. But basically, he's saying, hey, I'm requesting a criminal investigation into specifically the footage that Jules has been releasing because of the redactions. And you guys know Carlos and I debate the Idaho 4 case on here, and Carlos just, is taking everything that's been released at face value. And we discuss, all of the suspicious things that I point out to him. And one of the things that Carlos is kind of standing on the same side on is the redactions. So, we both agree and understand that in any case, you're going to redact personal identifying information, whether it's faces at the corner club, even though that looked ridiculous. Like, it makes sense that you're just not going to put innocent members of the public on blast, showing their faces, stuff like that in the documents, personal identifying information, fine. But when I point out to him, other things that they're redacting, like that video that Jules requested, besides maybe an address of a house, they didn't blur out the house. So we're allowed to see a personal residence. But what it seems like was redacted was, and in what was redacted is the noise, right? Obviously. Good morning, Christy. Hello. Hi, James. Good to see you. So in the documents, it's a big black box that's making the redactions. So how do you redact a video? Well, you can blur things out. There's nothing blurred on that, on those newly released videos that I can remember. Did you guys see anything blurred? Hi, James. I already said hi. I see your comment. Thank you. I didn't do much today. This is just like, I'm natural, except I do have makeup on, but I didn't do anything with my hair. But in the audio, like, what are the redactions? To me, this is just my opinion. I think instead of they could have taken things out. I don't know if we've heard like pauses or spaces or clips or jumps or anything like that. And I haven't seen Outcast's take on that part of it yet. If there's things taken out, to me, it sounds like there's sound inserted. Some people have described it as like an underwater sound. To me, it sounds like a radio static. kind of almost like not so much static. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a fuzziness. If fuzzy was a sound, that's what it sounds like. I make up words all the time. If fuzzy was a sound, that's what it would sound like. Let's see. Hi, Jeff. What did you notice? You guys are talking about license plates. Oh, yeah. I want to also at the end of the show, I'm going to show some body cam footage. I have some nuggets that also to me, the new body cam or I'm sorry, the 1112 videos that and audios that are released. Yes, we can listen to the sounds, but I have been catching a lot of people, cars, um, mostly focusing on what can I see? What can I see? Um, and then I was going back to the neighborhood canvassing videos and listening to what some of those neighbors said because some of them talked about early morning hours or a lot of people coming home from work at different times that notice things and I think I have like a couple nuggets to clarify some things that we're not sure about with times and stuff like that. So you guys are talking about the car. I know that car is another thing. Oh, I did screenshot. Oh, I don't know if I have it on here. I have it on my phone. I can send it to myself. Everybody's talking about that bug guard. I think that bug guard is a big we have to be able to find when exactly that bug guard got on his car. So I was going back to Brian's old traffic stops and they like get so close to the front of the car. I did think I captured it enough and I didn't think there was one on there. I'm not sure. I have a live for tomorrow, so I'll get those pictures set up for tomorrow. Bug guard pics. Okay. Let me see what we said. Outcast 16-minute video explains exactly what is being redacted. Thank you, Witchy. I did hear Outcast talk about he put the file into like AI chat GPT or whatever, and it gave a detailed technical list of like it read the file, like here's all the information about the file. And there was some good information in there. I'm not going to try to explain it, but go to Outcast and look at his videos because he explains it really well. He knows what he's doing. Jeff says the bug guard is not there. Oh, the Albertsons and Costco's videos too. Yeah. So that doesn't help. So then everybody's focusing on the fog lights. I guess apparently those look different. I don't know. Hello, Brooke. Hello. I've missed you guys. Missed being up here talking to you. Okay, so Texas A&M. And here's something the defense attorney for Brianna Aguilera is the girl, and the police department caught wind. It looks like this is what it looks like. So Brianna Aguilera's mom, if you're just joining, has a pretty high profile defense attorney. He scheduled a press conference to talk about the craziness in that case, and he attacks Ellie. So I thought we would all enjoy seeing a defense attorney wipe the floor with he describes a horrible investigation. So But once the law enforcement found out that he scheduled a press conference, I think they scrambled to do a press conference first. So we're going to listen to theirs first. We're going to listen about 10 minutes of it. It's a 15-minute press conference to hear what they say happened. And it'll give you, if you're not familiar with the case, they'll give you an update about what I'm talking about in the case. And then we're going to listen to the defense attorney. So let me get this going. Here's the police department. Okay. And their audio is horrible. I apologize. It's very staticky. It's got that the fuzzy sound. Let's see. There we go. Big.
Deepest condolences to Brianna Aguilera's family, friends, and loved ones. I stand before you as the chief of police, but first and foremost as a mother. I have 3 daughters and a son, and I cannot begin to imagine the pain that Brianna's family is feeling. As a parent, none of us want to contemplate the loss of a child, and again, my heart aches for them.
I'm sorry for that static sound, especially any of you that have headphones on. It's loud. Oh my goodness.
Before I turn this over to our lead detective, I want to be clear about a few things. It is not common for a police department to speak publicly about a death by suicide. But inaccurate information has circulated and been reported. And that has led to additional harm of innocent people, bullying included, and their families. There have also been statements suggesting the police have failed to do our jobs. Those statements are not accurate. I understand how grief and the need for answers can raise intense emotions and many questions. But sometimes the truth doesn't provide the answers we are hoping for, and that is this case. Please know that careful investigations take time. We must interview witnesses, collect evidence, and piece together facts. Releasing partial information too early can jeopardize the integrity of that case. I want to assure everyone that our team worked around the clock. These guys do not sleep. They worked around the clock on this case. And many of them are parents themselves. We used every available resource, interviewed numerous people, gathered evidence because we too want to understand what happened to Brianna, who was clearly loved by so many. I want to thank our homicide unit and victim services for their thorough work on this investigation and providing support for everyone that has been involved. I'm now going to turn it over to Detective Marshall, who will walk us through the timeline.
First, I'd like to start off by saying that our deepest sympathies and condolences during this investigation, I've had a chance to speak with numerous members of her family and friend group, both here in Austin and College Station and in Idaho. All of them, it's completely apparent that she was very much loved. Every friend and witness during this investigation has been nothing but forthcoming and open during the entire time I've spoken with them. I've been in contact with dozens of people over the past week, and every single one of them has answered my calls, my texts, submitted to interviews, and helped give answers from the moment that I've asked for that help. This also includes several people submitting to second interviews freely and without hesitation. The location this happened at, the 21 Rio Apartments, have also been helpful since the very beginning of this investigation. They've allowed us around-the-clock access to the apartment which Brianna was last seen at, as well as access to their internal camera system, which has been very beneficial in establishing a timeline of that evening's event. On Saturday, November 29th, at approximately 12:46 a.m., the Austin police officers responded to a call of a deceased person located at 2101 Rio Grande Street. The decedent, later identified as Brianna Aguilera, was located on the ground with trauma consistent to having fallen from a higher floor. Brianna was pronounced deceased at 12:56 a.m. I, along with crime scene specialists, responded to process the scene and interview witnesses. A witness informed officers that they had heard a sound of a thud and then observed a female on the ground. Initially, it was unknown who the decedent was and on what floor she had fallen. The medical examiner arrived on scene, and the body was taken to the medical examiner's office, where she was later positively identified. In the meantime, I was able to contact one of the employees at the 21 Rio Apartments at approximately 6 a.m. that same morning. The staff at 21 Rio were cooperative throughout this entire investigation. By approximately 10 a.m., we were able to access the camera's system inside the apartment complex, which shows us the hallway areas. It was found that Brianna had arrived at the apartment complex just after 11 p.m. on Friday, November 28th, and that she went into a specific apartment on the 17th floor. Video surveillance has confirmed that a large group of friends left that same apartment at 12:30 a.m. on November 29th, leaving just Brianna and 3 other girls in the apartment. Now, on Saturday, November 29th, at approximately 12:54 p.m., I, along with patrol officers, made contact with the residents of that specific apartment that Brianna had been observed going into. The residents informed me that they were trying to report that their friend Brianna was missing. I was able later to confirm they had in fact placed a 911 call at 12:14 p.m. earlier that afternoon to report their friend Brianna was missing. They informed me that they were hosting friends for the Texas A&M football game and that Brianna was supposed to be staying there that preceding evening. I spoke with 3 different female witnesses on scene, as well as later a 4th witness who had left earlier that night. The investigation showed that Brianna had been at a tailgate party earlier in the day and became intoxicated to a point that she was asked to leave the same time. She had told her friends that she had lost her phone at some point.
Thank you. Who was that? Was that? Oh, let me get back to the comments. Ro, thank you so much. I made something. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. A few more minutes of this guy. So he's giving his version of what happened. And did you guys catch? Ooh, I'm stuttering there. Did you guys catch what time the girls in the apartment, roommates, called 911? Didn't he say like noon the next day or something? That seems to be fireworks. Yeah. Get those fireworks. Interesting.
That tailgate. They had all returned to the apartment where Brianna borrowed a phone of a friend to call an out-of-town boyfriend. Witnesses heard Brianna arguing on the phone with her boyfriend, which was also confirmed later by the boyfriend. Phones from both the phone Brianna used and the boyfriend's phone have confirmed through call logs that call did occur. Now, this call occurred at approximately 12:43 to 12:44 a.m., approximately 1 minute. This is 2 minutes before the 911 call of the body found down below. On Saturday, November 29th, it was found that Brianna's mother, Stephanie Rodriguez, had called the Austin Police Department at 12:50 p.m. This was in an attempt to locate Brianna. Rodriguez called back an hour later at 2 p.m. stating the location of her daughter's missing phone. The phone was located by Austin police officers in a wooded area by 3:30 p.m. that afternoon near Walnut Creek in a field by the Austin Rugby Club. Through this investigation, it was found that Brianna had attended the tailgate on Friday, November 28th at the Austin Rugby Club, arriving between 4 and 5 p.m. and then leaving at approximately 10 p.m. Witnesses stated that after Brianna was asked to leave the tailgate, she had repeatedly dropped her phone and staggered into a nearby wooded area where her phone and other items were later located by Austin police. Just after 4 p.m. on Saturday, November 29th, officers from the scene paged homicide and informed them that they had located the property belonging to Brianna and determined that there was also a separate deceased person call with the same name. Rodriguez was notified of Brianna's death just before 5 p.m. Brianna's phone was placed with the rest of her property still on the 17th floor of the apartment for her family to later receive. On Monday, December 1st, the mother and father of Brianna met with victim services and those of us in the homicide office at police headquarters. There, Rodriguez turned over Brianna's phone and gave it back to us. A further review of Brianna's phone shows a deleted digital suicide note dated Tuesday, November 25th of this year, which was written to specific people in her life. From the moment this call originated up until now, between all of the witness statements, all of the video evidence, and all of the digital evidence collected, at no time did any evidence point to this being anything of a criminal nature. Rather, our investigations revealed that unfortunately Brianna had made suicidal comments previously to friends back in October of this year. This continued through the evening of her death, with some self-harming actions early in the evening and a text message to another friend indicating the thought of suicide. We recognize that hearing news like this can be difficult and may affect members of the community in very personal ways. If you or someone you know is experiencing emotional distress or mental health struggles, support is available. You can call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or contact Integral Care's 24-hour helpline at 512-472-HELP. That's 512-472-4357.
Okay, I'm sorry about that static. I listened to it with headphones on yesterday, and it wasn't that bad when I had my headphones on, but oh my goodness, I hope it's not my computer feedback. I liked your guys's Sleuthy. I did see your suggestion for downloading it, putting it into an editor. I don't know if I would know how to I know how to detach audio from the video, but I don't know how to do anything like that. But thanks, Jeff. I appreciate your offer too. I want to say hello to George Stewart, RJ Anderson, last 24 on the mic. Hello, Wonders Deep. Who else did I see in here? So a lot of people. Kane, hello, Kane. How warm is it down there, Kane? It's snowing here. It felt like 4 degrees on Saturday around here. It was freezing. And whenever we listen to LE give a press conference, Sleuthy sweetheart, you were right. It is we'd like to thank ourselves for such a great job that we've been doing. So they're standing at the podium here saying, all the things we did. The woman who spoke first was pretty defensive, saying, we interviewed people and, we did a great job, blah, blah, blah. If you wanted to finish this on your own, it ends with questions from the press, but I could not understand any of them. The audio on this was horrible. So skipping that part for sure. I know I've missed some people in here. I apologize. I see you. And I want to say hello. Don't think I didn't see you. I just can't remember all the names that I saw. In the 60s. I've been talking. Anybody that brings up the weather? Yeah. I was going to turn my webcam around and show you. It's snowing sideways at the moment, like slanted snow right now. All right, let's listen to the defense attorney tear the law enforcement apart. This one's kind of, it's a half hour or so, but it is, I'll play a little bit, stop it and talk. It's worth it though. It's worth it. And the audio is way better. All right, hold on a minute. Where'd it go? Wait, there it is. I'm like, where'd it go? What are you doing? Sometimes computers act so weird. So, of course, he's got the parents up there with him. He starts off with them. I know I'm not sharing yet. Hold on. This guy's name is Tony Busby, and I feel like I've heard that name before. Is he associated with another big case? Tony Busby. All right, let's listen.
I want to introduce you all to Stephanie Rodriguez and Manuel Aguilera. Now, I saw on social media some comments about the lawyers that are involved here. One recurring comment was, he gets paid either way. I want to make sure we're clear on something. We don't get paid either way. We're doing this for reasons more than money. This family lost their daughter the day after Thanksgiving, mere weeks before Christmas. Brianna was a girl who had the world at her feet. Her whole life was in front of her. She was a girl with big plans and big dreams. She was an honor student, a former cheerleader, a proud sophomore at my alma mater, Texas A&M. She was a political science major and wanted to be a future lawyer. I just found out from her mother that the last time I spoke to the Pre-Law Society at Texas A&M, Brianna was in the audience. We refuse to believe that this young woman committed suicide. Why? Because she was not suicidal. Contrary to what has been sloppily reported, in many cases by a lot of the people here, she did not engage in self-harm. She had never tried to hurt herself before. So why are these groups of lawyers engaged in this? Because this family wants the truth. They're entitled to the truth. We were asked by these parents who love their daughter to find the truth of what happened to her. They didn't feel like they were getting thorough information from the Austin Police Department. And despite what the detective said yesterday, or maybe implied yesterday, it's kind of hard to figure out what he was saying. This is very much an ongoing investigation. I've been around a long time. Good investigations lead to conclusions. Bad investigations start with a conclusion, and then they try to support the conclusion through the investigation.
Sorry, I muted myself. Did you guys hear that? That is like the best quote. Good investigations start with an investigation and end with a conclusion. Bad investigations start with a conclusion and then investigate to try to match their conclusion. Like that's a quote worthy right there. I love this guy that he started off all about the family, all about the victim, you know, and it's all about finding the truth, right? It's all about finding the truth. So a lot of you were not in here. Hi, Amy. A lot of you were not in here right at the beginning. So I want to know your thoughts on why is it that we see high profile private defense attorneys, they seem to be able to hold press conferences, speak openly. This guy's getting out ahead of it, right? The investigation is ongoing. Hi, Joey. And he's out speaking. He's out speaking his mind, his thoughts, his opinions. He's going to get into, he put together a timeline, you guys. Wait till you see his timeline. But why don't public defense attorneys do this? Why? And maybe they do. I'll have to look for that. That's on my notes to look for. But what if Ann Taylor would have done this? What if she would have spoke out right away and try to get ahead of as soon as you see the narrative isn't matching up with the evidence you're starting to see, you know, would that have helped? Should she have done it? Could she do it? What do you guys think?
Clear to me, based on what this detective and the things that he said to Stephanie, it's clear to me that he had made a decision immediately about what his conclusion was and then went about trying to support it. The Austin Police Department formed a conclusion within hours of this tragedy that this was a suicide
fast,
without any
Jeff. Thank you.
investigation. This family had a horrible tragedy, and the communication from the Austin Police Department was so bad that the family became concerned enough to engage me and my colleagues at Gamez Law. And they also asked the public for help. With proper communication, this matter would be treated like most investigations where no information is shared until actually after the investigation is complete. But what did we see yesterday? What we saw yesterday was a hurried, rushed press conference. And I think we all can agree the reason they had a press conference yesterday is because they knew that we were going to have this conference today. They gave the family no notice of the press conference. They sent 2 emails, and then the detective went on camera in front of millions of people and told everybody that this young lady committed suicide.
Isn't that disgusting? They didn't it seems like at the last minute, oh, let's email the parents, who checks their email every 5 minutes, and then go on there and talk about their daughter like that. And they weren't even there. Parents weren't even there. That's disgusting.
Ironically, the same thing he told Stephanie, the mother, within a few minutes of talking to her without any investigation. That's not the way it's supposed to be done. The family had dared to ask questions about what was going on and what had been learned by the investigation, was then punished with leaks to millions of people from the Austin Police Department, to the detriment of their daughter and to their daughter's memory. So we were hired to assist this family in finding the truth, and we've been doing that. But everyone knows that investigations are supposed to remain confidential until the investigation is complete. And why is that? That's because you don't want to tamper with potential witnesses or scare off witnesses or create a false narrative or color witnesses' interpretation of the facts. Everything
You guys can't hear me. I was saying thank you. I said, thanks, babe. I love that he supports me. Thank you. Thank you. I have to get back to the chat. Where did it go? Hold on, you guys. I'm going to find this. There it is. Oh, I am showing it. All right.
that detective did yesterday. That's exactly what he did. Do you realize that the autopsy has not been completed? Now, I want you to let that soak in for a minute. The autopsy has not been completed. The medical examiner's office told us that it will not be completed for 60 to 90 days, yet you had the so-called lead detective in front of millions of people saying that he had concluded that this was a suicide. Now, how unprofessional is that? The police department asked the medical examiner to do a toxicology report. We don't have the results of that toxicology report, yet this investigator stood in front of all of you and said that he had concluded this was a suicide, even though by law he doesn't have the authority to make that conclusion. Only the medical examiner has that authority.
Hi, Leslie.
The police department also asked for a rape kit to be done.
Yeah, this is crazy. Okay. So the cops are running around saying, and trigger warning, because this case involves suicide. So very sensitive topic. And I apologize for that. It does get brought up because that's what the police are saying happened. But this guy's saying the medical examiner hasn't even finished their report. Like, the medical examiner is still working to find cause, manner of death, and anything else that they can find out. So that's crazy. And then listen to this, talking about the rape kit. Like, what? Oh my gosh. Listen to what he says after this.
They admitted to us yesterday in a Zoom call that, well, if they do the rape kit, we don't even know where they're going to send it to. This is what we're dealing with, and that's the reason we're involved. It's like the Keystone Cops over there in Austin. And it's incredibly frustrating to this family. Why would the Austin Police Department hurriedly perform or set up a press conference and leak details of the investigation and suggest to you that there was a suicide note without the medical examiner ever even performing their job? Why would they do that?
Someone said, send it to Othram. Is that Tony Stevenson? Hi, Tony. Send it. Yes, send it to Othram. Yes.
Now, what he told us, I'll tell you what the investigator told us. He said, oh, my goodness gracious, the witnesses are getting death threats. I said, from whom? Why? No answer, because it's foolishness, absolute foolishness. And it's that kind of conduct that caused the family to try to find somebody separate from the Austin Police Department to investigate this. We don't have a toxicology report. We don't have a rape report. We don't have a cause of death. And none of those things, don't put that on top of that. None of those are conclusions that a police detective, a corporal, can make. He doesn't have the statutory authority to determine the cause of death.
Hi, answer 4242. Yeah. So what I like to do is I find other cases that have something connecting back to Idaho 4. I do have some clips of the neighborhood body camera when they did the neighborhood searches. We're going to look at that in a little bit. I have a couple nuggets that I'm going to show. So yeah, this is showing a privately hired defense attorney holding a press conference while the investigation is still going on, while the medical examiner is still, and he's like jumping out ahead of the case. And so I just asked the chat a little bit ago, and you can give me your thoughts. Could Ann Taylor have done this? Should she have done it? Did she have the information? I see people in the chat saying she didn't have the information to be able to do it. Are public defense attorneys allowed to do this? So lots to talk about related to the Idaho 4.
And I'm surprised that none of you even asked that question. He gave you an opportunity to ask questions. Not one of you said, hey, wait a minute, detective. When did the state of Texas give you the legislative authority to determine cause of death? I thought only either a JP, if there's no medical examiner, or a medical examiner could do that. Is that what the medical examiner has done? He would have said to you, no, actually, the medical examiner hasn't even completed his autopsy. But none of you asked that question. You just bought everything that he said, hook, line, and sinker. And then you published your most of the things that I saw on Instagram and the newspaper were cause of death determined. Young lady committed suicide. That's irresponsible.
What comment did I put up here? Oh, is this the guy that I remember hearing about a guy buying a tank and putting it in his garden. Is this the guy? Who's from Texas? Sleuthy? Is this the guy? That's funny. I wonder why he did. If you know why he did it, put it in the chat.
That's irresponsible. You should not do that. You should say, wait a minute, detective. How many times have you been written up and reprimanded? Detective. Wait a minute. When did you have the statutory authority, detective, to determine cause of death? Detective. That's your job. Now it's my job. The public dissemination of information by the Austin Police Department during an investigation, the way it was done yesterday, is unethical, unprofessional, incredibly damaging to an objective, unbiased investigation. And it's also damaging to the memory of this child. All this family is asking for is a thorough, complete, unbiased, open-minded investigation. That's all they're asking for. That's what any parent would ask for whose child went to college, went to a game, lost her for several hours, and then find out hours and hours later that she supposedly jumped off a balcony. And with just a few questions, a few pointed questions, quickly figure out that these investigators, this so-called investigator, did not know what he was talking about.
Look at the dad, you guys. Oh my gosh. Every time he has to talk about what happened to her, the mom's holding it together pretty well. I don't know how she's doing that, but oh my goodness. Okay, so this comment right here, who chose Hitler as judge? I did an episode, one of my lives, a few lives back, comparing a case to the Idaho 4, and my point is, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters which judge it would have been. Maybe there's varying degrees. I don't think it matters which prosecutor it would have been. All of them in Idaho stick together like a band of thieves. And I say that from what I found in the episode I did. There was a new prosecutor that did make his way into a different county in Idaho. It was close to Moscow, I believe. And there was a case where they had convicted somebody who was innocent, and he wanted to go in there and do things differently. He wanted to, change things that he thought were being done wrong. There's what do you call it? Like an organization, like all the prosecutors in Idaho all belong to like the Idaho Prosecutors Association or whatever. They all voted against this guy. Every single one of them. Like it's going to take more than one person. We say one person can make a difference. This guy tried, and they went after him. Like they made up charges and accusations against him to take him to court. They made his life so miserable. I think he quit law altogether. It would have to be a really big movement, I believe, in Idaho to start changing that system and how they do things. So that's just my personal thought on that comment about, I just think the whole system, and it's probably not just Idaho. It's probably not just Idaho. I mean, I've also covered a lot about plea deals. Why did he take a plea? There's verified evidence, research articles done that when evidence is the weakest, plea deals will be made. There's lots behind that, but I was just reading your comments, so I wanted to speak on that.
We're going to get into that. You can't close a case before you even have the cause of death from the medical examiner. Period. Full stop. You don't have that right. You don't have that authority. We have to get this right. This is not just for this family. This is for any family. You have to get this right. You can't close a book in the middle of reading a chapter and say that that's closed and it's over. That's not how it works. You can't misclassify a death like this. When you misclassify a death, you're planting a lie in the soil where truth should grow. And as I said, to her credit, Stephanie Rodriguez was very close to her daughter, very close. Talked to her daily. Knew everything that she was up to, everything that she was doing. The very first interaction she had with the detective from the Austin Police Department, he told her, your daughter committed suicide. The very first reaction, the very first interaction. At that point, he hadn't talked to one witness. He hadn't seen her phone. He hadn't done anything. That's sloppy and irresponsible. He claims she made suicidal comments. He told us in the Zoom call, she made suicidal comments. You know what he was talking about? The other day, when I was talking to a friend the other day, I said, man, you're going to make me jump off a bridge. That's what he's talking about. Silliness like that. He later claimed she was making those kinds of statements on the day or the night that she died. If that's the case, why did her friends leave her out on the balcony by herself? If that's true, because it's not true. None of the things that we've been told by the Austin Police Department are consistent with the actual facts that we've learned.
He's also going to roast the press. He's going after everybody about this case.
The detective was talking about suicide before he was ever given her phone. Then he gets into her phone and he sees an essay that she wrote and he calls it a suicide note. She took creative writing the semester before. Now, I don't know what the purpose of that. We'll never know what the purpose of what she wrote and deleted, but this is the suggestion was that she left a quote suicide note. Total malarkey. Total malarkey. There's something she wrote on the 25th. She talked to her mother on the 25th. She was with her boyfriend on the night of the 25th. She was talking to her mother every single day after that. We see pictures of her smiling. We see pictures of her having fun. We see pictures of her partying. Total baloney, what they're trying to sell to you. And why? Am I suggesting that there's some kind of conspiracy? No, I'm suggesting they're lazy and they're incompetent. Just so I'm clear, I'm not suggesting any sort of conspiracy that there's some kind of somebody in power that wants this to go. No, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that there's incompetence and laziness on the part of the detective. That's what I'm suggesting.
Could you imagine if somebody held a press conference in Moscow and got up and said that about law enforcement? I mean, this guy is not holding back, but he's, my opinion, he's not just making statements. He's backing it up with what they didn't do mostly, what they didn't do. Crazy.
The suggestion they've made is she wrote an essay, because it's not a note. She wrote an essay on the 25th that she deleted. And then she goes and kills herself 4 days later. This is their logic. It's really ridiculous. So, a few things they didn't bother to even explain. I don't even know what they did, honestly. I know what we've done. We sent someone to the apartment. We had someone take the dimensions of the apartment. We had somebody measure the railing and the height of the railing. We know how tall Brianna was. She was 5'2". The railing's 44 inches. You don't fall over it. There's no furniture out in the balcony. There's nothing to climb up on to jump off. Anyone that's on that little balcony, it's literally as big as this. It's a little bitty old balcony. And there's a window just like that you can see onto the balcony. The apartment is like a dorm. It's very small. There's no way you can be in that apartment and hide. If you're in the apartment, people know you're in the apartment. It's a little small apartment. No offense to the apartment complex, but that's what it is. It's like a little double room dorm with a small balcony with no furniture. These are easy things to find out. Things that you would say, wait a minute, you're saying that this young lady was out on the balcony and she was 5'2", she had to somehow climb over the railing to try to kill herself? Then certainly you guys could see that. Certainly you knew that was happening. How could that possibly be? It doesn't make any sense because it didn't happen that way. She was 100 pounds, 5'2". There's no way she could fall over that railing accidentally. There's no way to be on the balcony and you be inside and not know somebody's on the balcony. It's not possible.
I mean, this guy is talking hypothetical details of the case, almost like he's making some of his arguments that he would probably make in a court. This isn't really like a, well, right now he's trying to fight the case of this needs to go from a suicide to a criminal investigation, right? A murder investigation. So he's making his arguments for that. So maybe that's why he can be so freely like, my point is, if you were going to trial against a suspect, you probably wouldn't want to put your argument out there, right? I don't know. But he's doing it now. If it gets to the point where they ever do prove that something was done to her, which I'm starting to see, you'll hear he's going to spill the evidence that they have. But again, what if Ann Taylor would have done this? You know, that's why I think that they either don't have the actual data for Cy Ray to show he was somewhere else, or they weren't going to let her make that argument based on shutting Cy Ray down. I don't know. What if she would have came out at that time before the plea deal and spoke about this stuff? If those tactics, like I saw someone say she was like shoved up against the cement wall. Like, I agree with that. So what if she would have tried to call them out? What if she would have held a press conference and said, hey, here's all the things I'm trying to do to defend my client? I saw someone say that, like, you know, Green wouldn't allow that or whatever, like the power in the town. But I don't know. If you're going to be a rebel, you got to be a rebel, right? What do you guys think about that? Well, the gag order I saw was the gag order was after Brian was arrested, right? Yeah. So after they knew, yeah, because of a gag order. All right. My ranting was for nothing.
It's almost impossible to be inside the apartment and not know somebody's in the apartment with you, even though there's 2 little bedrooms. This is called common sense. I'll tell you what's most concerning. They didn't explore the fight that Brianna apparently had with somebody at the tailgate at the Austin Rugby Club. I think she went to, what was the name of the tailgate that they had there? Some student organization. Latin Economic Business Development tailgate at the Austin Rugby Club. There was an altercation between her and another female. No investigation of that. Turns out that other female was in the apartment with her that night. There was a witness between 12:30 and 1 a.m. who posted on TikTok. Many of you have seen it.
Hi, Meg.
Young man posted on TikTok. You could hear up above at around the 17th floor in that general area, fighting, screaming. Somebody saying, "Get off of me." And then a muffled sound. He posted it, got many, many views. You can get on TikTok and look at it now. We talked to him this morning. You guess what? Here's the irony. Or maybe here's the tragedy. The police didn't bother to talk to him. Now, why wouldn't they talk to him?
That's
He
a
had
good question.
incredibly specific information about what he heard. He could hear it loud enough. He could hear the words that were spoken. "Get off of me," and screaming, and then a muffled cry.
So who in the Idaho 4 case have they not interviewed that we think they should have interviewed? I was thinking of somebody last night. Or if they interviewed them, is there an audio or video of it? I will think of it. Oh my gosh, it was somebody last night, and I was like, I wonder if they interviewed them. I'm sure there's a lot of people.
between 12:30 and 1 p.m., right next to the apartment. We had an expert say, wait a minute, could he hear that? We had to engage an expert to say, is it possible that he could actually hear that? The expert said, absolutely. Absolutely could hear that.
The whole
Makes a lot
town
of
of
sense.
Moscow.
Never talked to by the police. We have a witness who was in the apartment across from the apartment where this apparently
William.
occurred, who could hear running back and forth and screaming. And then she said, I could tell something bad had happened.
Good one.
Did y'all know this? Ridiculous.
Oh, two more good
Her
ones.
entire family was in the apartment. The police could have talked to her and
Boom,
several
right
other
there.
people. They failed to look into the anonymous message that was sent. There was an anonymous message that was posted that said, hey, I have specific information that this young lady was locked out on the balcony. Did you know that? It's not part of the investigation. Why is it not part of the investigation? Because they made their decision literally within minutes. Within minutes. Now, here's where it gets a little dicey, and here's where I'm having it, and I want to be very careful because I don't want to be accusing anybody, because I'm not accusing anybody other than the APD, the Austin Police Department, not doing its job. At first, we were told that she
It's going at their neck.
jumped from the balcony, and the three young women that were in the apartment, and we're talking about, as I said, a tiny little apartment, were asleep and didn't know where she was. That's what we were told first. That they were asleep. They didn't even know she was on the balcony. They didn't know where she was. And that's the reason why they didn't call the police
Like 9 more
until
minutes.
12:15 the next day. That's what we were told. That's part of the cop's timeline. Okay? Put up the timeline, Ryan. They said, according to the plot, we haven't talked to them. These are these anonymous women who were in the apartment, 3 of them, one of which was the lessor or the lessee of the apartment, who vacated the apartment the very next day and never went back. Did you know that?
Oh, does that sound familiar?
This is the timeline that the police gave us yesterday. This is the timeline. And if you can't look at that timeline and 1 second point out the problem of that timeline, then you're not doing your job. We'll get to it.
I like this guy too.
So at first we're told that the 3 women didn't know where she was and they were asleep. That's what we were told. And that they didn't know where she was. They were looking for her and they were texting her mom and it wasn't. And they decided about 12:14 the next day, 6 hours later almost, that they decided at that point they couldn't find her, so they were going to call the police. This is what we were told by the Austin Police Department. Lay aside what was heard happening at about 12:30 to.
Oh, I know. So on the new footage that we've seen at 1112 with that car coming towards, a lot of people think it's Jack D. I did snap a screenshot. That's another thing. I think I have it on my phone. While we're finishing this, I'll send these photos that I have to my drive so I can pull them up. Jack D's car is definitely a dark gray, silverish dark gray sedan. I don't know. When I show you the photo, you can tell me what kind of car it is. But that car that's leaving on that 1112 footage between 2:30 and 3:30. Did the investigators find out who that was? Did they interview that person? That's one of the interviews that I feel like they should have done, right? Because we're all speculating, is that where Murphy was? So who's that person? And did they, I would have to go through the reports. You got to go through the reports, see where's that, is that mentioned at all? And then if they did an interview, I'm going to jot that down because we need to do that.
1 o'clock that night. Lay aside what the witness across the hall said. Lay aside what the man down on the street said. Just disregard all that. This is what the police say. It must be right, according to them. because they did such a thorough investigation. This is what they gave us. Not one of you asked a question about it. Not one of you. But this is what they said.
He's going after
Her friends called the police at 12:14 the next day because they didn't know where she was. They hadn't seen her. They thought maybe she had went out. That's what they said. Keep that in your mind. When I asked the police that, like, wait a minute, how is that possible? How is that possible? A whole group of 14 or so people came into the apartment that night after they'd been out partying. They got there about 11 or so. Everybody left, right? That's what they say. And it left just 4 girls there, 4 young women, right? And the 4 young women, 3 of them didn't call the police till 12 o'clock the next day because they didn't know where she was. That's what the police say. Lay aside what the witnesses have said about that and lay aside the fact that that's a really small apartment. It's hard to get lost in that little small apartment. I want you to look very carefully. The first entry on the timeline. According to the police, let me walk over there. Excuse me. Brianna did not have her phone. She didn't have her phone, so she had to call to make a call. According to the police, she borrowed her friend's phone, meaning one of the 3 women that was in the apartment. Now look at this very carefully. According to the police, she borrowed her friend's phone and made a call from 12:43, and it lasted 1 minute. At 12:46, 2 minutes later, the police were responding to a 911 call because she was outside on the ground. Now do the math. So you're probably thinking, well, she must have, she hung up her friend's phone and she just jumped. She hung up the phone, she dropped it on the balcony, and she jumped. First question you should have is, where's the phone? What did she do with the phone? I asked the police that 3 different times. 3 times. They sidestepped me every time until this morning. They sidestepped me because they hadn't thought about it, because they rushed to judgment. They finally answered the question this morning. And you know what they said to me this morning? And they said it, and they didn't even realize what they were telling me.
Bye, Jeff.
Because they're so sloppy. I made them put it in writing. I have it here. I'll read it to you. Austin Police Department did not find the phone on Miss Aguilera. Miss Aguilera returned the phone to its owner before she was seen going onto the balcony. Now, how is that possible? That is 180 degrees different than what you told us previous. That is absolutely contrary to what you told us previous. Previous, you said the 3 women were asleep. You said they didn't know where she went. But then when I asked the one question over and over, and you had to answer it, then all of a sudden we realized if she did, in fact, use her friend's phone, like they claim, if she did, in fact, use it for 1 minute and was found already 2 minutes later by a passerby and the police were already responding to a 911 call, think about that, what the ramifications of that are. That whoever phone she was using was standing right next to her as she went over the balcony, if she went over the balcony.
If
you're
she went over the
well,
balcony.
shoot, there's got to be a reasonable explanation. We should talk to the witnesses.
This is a good question. It's just a debate question. I think you don't know. The question is, who would plead guilty if you were innocent? You sound like my husband, James. A lot of people stand strong in their conviction. I would never say I ever did anything. I mean, I feel like that. I mean, I don't know who would openly admit, like, yeah, I would cave, unless you really know yourself I think we all say, I'm not going to plead guilty to something I didn't do. I'm not going to accept a plea deal for something that I didn't do. But what happens is lots of innocent people find themselves in that situation. Police can lie to you when they're questioning you. The prosecution will level up the charges to make them more scary, terrifying, threatening, just like they did to Brian Koberger. It wasn't just the death penalty with Brian Koberger. It was a firing squad, and we're building a room for you, and, you know, those scare tactics. And when that enters the picture, from what I have found, again, if you haven't seen my old lives, I'm finding cases where people have done just that. The ones I've covered so far have not been plea deals. I did just find one that I'm going to cover for probably next week. Someone who actually accepted a plea deal and saying they were guilty and then were later found innocent. And a lot of there are people that do this, say I'm guilty, and evidence comes out later that they definitely were not. For sure.
We should investigate. We should figure this out. That's what we're saying. Now you're getting it. You sat there, and with all due respect.
Oh, Kale, I like that.
I watched it. You all sat there, and you had this corporal, or whatever he is, lead detective, and
see some new people in here. Love Always Truth. Good to see you. Gwenny and Garnett. Good to see you. Kale, is it Bly? I saw your comment. I like that. What fear is. Wicca. I always want to say Blank Shady. Good to see you. Welcome, everybody.
And Mrs. Rodriguez will tell you how he is and her interactions with him in just one moment. But you let him stand at a podium just like this and feed you total baloney. And all you had to do is say, wait a minute, detective, wait a minute. She borrowed somebody's phone. Where is that phone? Maybe she must have went over the railing with it. She had to give somebody. No, according to him, she returned it to its owner before she was seen walking back out to the balcony. Absolutely impossible. Very suspicious. We have a problem. And I shouldn't have to ask the detective 3 times the same question, should I? I shouldn't have to do that. But I did it, and I'm going to keep doing it. And another thing, why would you tell these kids, the boyfriend who Stephanie knows, who's been over to her house, who her daughter has been dating, they're in love. Why would you, detective, tell him not to speak to Stephanie Rodriguez? Don't talk to her. What kind of foolishness is that? Just absolute insensitive and inhumane in my view. Before I go any further, I'm getting a little incensed here. Let me introduce to you
He's
Stephanie
just now
Rodriguez.
getting
She
incensed.
wants to read to you a statement. I hope you'll give her your full attention.
This is almost over.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Rodriguez, and I'm the mother of Brianna Aguilera. Brianna was a driven, disciplined, and caring person. She was beautiful. She was a loving daughter, a protective big sister, and a caring granddaughter, a second mom to her 2 younger brothers. Her baby was her little Yorkie, Ava. All of us were her best friend. She made everyone around her feel loved and supported. I considered her my best friend, not just a mother-daughter relationship. We talked every day, and she would tell me everything. I miss her so much. Her brothers miss her too. Her father and grandmother miss her so much, and so do all her friends. Brianna grew up as an all-star cheerleader, an incredible athlete. She was an honor student and a member of the National Honor Society all throughout school. Christmas was her favorite time of year. She loved decorating, baking, and hiding the elf on the shelf for her little brother. Her brothers already miss her so much. Brianna graduated magna cum laude from high school. She was accepted to many colleges, but
Hi,
chose Texas
Christine.
A&M. She was studying political science and criminal justice. She was not like most young girls. She loved writing more than watching TV. Her favorite class at A&M were her creative writing classes. She dreamed of attending law school in New York and wanted to become a criminal defense lawyer. She was so smart and had such a bright future. She dreamt of a life of where she could make a difference. My daughter was not suicidal. I know my daughter better than anyone. We spoke every day. I spoke to her on the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th. Even the morning of the 28th, she was not suicidal. To the Austin police, I can deal with you being annoyed each time I called or tried to talk to you. I can deal with how arrogantly you talked down to us each time we talked.
That sounds familiar.
I can deal with you telling my daughter's friends not to talk to me like I am some sort of criminal. But I cannot deal with you doing a news conference and saying false things about my child without a thorough investigation. I cannot deal with you jumping to conclusions and not performing an actual investigation. I cannot deal with your failure to do your job. Do your job.
Do your job.
The police, as much as I've always been a supporter of the police, with all due respect to them, do not determine cause of death. That's not their job. Their job, that job,
Thank you.
is specifically reserved for the medical examiner's office. There is no medical examiner in the county, then it's the JP in the county. In Austin, it's the job of the medical examiner to determine cause of death, not Detective Robert Marshall.
He kind of walks
The
off.
medical examiner told us that a rape kit was done and the autopsy will be performed. It'll take us 60 to 90 days. So that begs the question, why did Detective Robert Marshall tell us that they had reached their conclusion and that the investigation was complete? Doesn't work that way. How is it that Robert Marshall has determined the cause of this young woman's death? He doesn't have that authority. His job is to question all the witnesses. We've already offered up several. We'll offer up several more for him to do his job. Hopefully a different investigator will be involved. There are many questions about what was done here, about what happened on that night. And it's already going to be incredibly difficult for the Austin Police Department to conduct an objective investigation at this point. And that's because the way that the Austin Police Department has handled this and jumped to conclusions within hours of this tragedy disqualifies the Austin Police Department from further investigation of this matter. So I'm doing this today. I'm calling on the Austin Police Department to reopen the investigation with a different investigator, to reassign Robert Marshall and put this in the hands of a different investigator. Failing that, I will be calling on the governor to engage the Texas Rangers. We will submit a formal packet to them with all the evidence we have gathered so far, and we will gather. We intend to present 30 to 40 pages of information, statements, and other factual data that they need to do a proper investigation. And here are the questions I hope are answered. Austin Police Department, why would you close your investigation without having all the facts? Why not wait for the autopsy results? Why not wait for the rape kit result? And who would you send it to if you've already made up your mind? Why not question all the witnesses, the ones that we've questioned? The young man who was down on the ground, who heard somebody say, "Get off of me," or the young lady and her family across the hall who heard running, screaming, and, quote, something bad had happened. Why not question them? Why not examine all the phones of the friend group? We asked that question in the Zoom call. You know what we were told? We don't have the power to look at their phones. Hogwash.
What?
Hogwash. You have that power.
Hogwash.
And you need to do it. Why hold a hasty press conference to announce that this young lady had killed herself without even talking
Tony
to her
Busby.
mother to see what her affect was leading up to the 28th? You heard what she said. She knows her daughter. She knows her daughter more than anyone. Why not talk to the friends immediately? Why wait? Why wait to talk to her friend group? Why not talk to them immediately? Why did you let the owner of the apartment, that is the young woman who was leasing the apartment, vacate the apartment? Literally vacate the apartment and leave town.
Tear down the house.
Why won't the boyfriend talk to us?
Go home for
The
Thanksgiving.
boyfriend that was a longtime boyfriend of this young lady and was very friendly with her mother. Why can't we see the texts? Why can't we see the phones? Where's her wallet? Where's Brianna's wallet? It's missing. They didn't tell you that, did they? I see you writing. They didn't tell you that, did you? If you had asked the question, they would have told you that. They told you what they wanted you to hear. They didn't tell you the complete facts. Her wallet is missing. Why did her friends wait until 12:14 the next day to report her missing?
Her
If she had
wallet
borrowed the phone and returned it the night of, 2 minutes before she jumped her death. Why didn't they examine the balcony? Why didn't they examine the railing? Why didn't they see if there was some sort of table there, a chair there that somebody who's 5'2" would have to step on to get over the railing? Why didn't they look for scuff marks? Why didn't they do anything?
We need one solid list of these.
They didn't even bother to look to whether if somebody did in fact jump off the balcony, whether they would end up in the tree that's 30 some odd foot forward of the apartment. Y'all didn't ask that question either. The laws of physics aren't different in the city of Austin. You realize the same laws of physics as exist here in Houston. If, when the phone call came in at 12:46 and the officers responded to the 911 call, if it was so obvious that this young woman had fallen to her death, why was it till 6 o'clock, 5 hours later, that they ever went into the apartment complex? If it was so obvious that that's how she had died. These are the questions you should be asking. At the press conference, you
Mainstream
didn't ask
media.
any questions. You didn't ask any questions. You just lapped it up like it was cool water and you were very thirsty.
Yeah, Gwenny, it's a good one.
Very disappointing to me. So, we have given you a lot of information. We're going to submit a packet. I'm going to call on the governor to. I don't expect, based on the conduct I saw from the police chief of Austin, her defensive manner that she approached the podium yesterday, I don't expect any relief from her. I don't expect she's going to say, King's X, oh, you're right, this was sloppy, it was not thorough, it was kind of embarrassing, we're going to get a different detective to start over. I don't expect that to happen. I expect what's going to happen is I'm going to send a formal letter to the governor asking for the Texas Rangers to be engaged. And I'm going to submit a detailed packet to the governor's office and ultimately to the Texas Rangers to actually do an investigation.
That's kind of like what Devil's Advocate did.
Because we still don't know. Notice I haven't suggested to you what happened because I don't know. I'm starting to get a sneaking suspicion. So I've given you a lot of information. So what is your headline? Your headline is this: There are serious and disturbing questions raised with regard to the Austin Police Department's handling of the investigation surrounding the death of Breonna Aguilera. The Texas Rangers have now been called to intervene. Thank you very much. Let's go.
How long are you willing to give APD to reassign an investigator? If
That takes 2 minutes. That's what I expect. Let's go. Y'all move your camera, please.
I told you this was a good one, you guys. He did not play around. That was a dragging, a roasting. Oh my gosh. The mainstream media said, how long do you expect it to take for the request to go in for the cowboy investigation? And he goes, 2 minutes. That takes 2 minutes. This is the energy that you need to get to the truth, right? Get to the truth. And I think the unfortunate thing about Brian Kohberger's case, for Maddie and Kaylee and Ethan and Xana, for them to get true justice and figure out exactly what happened, either 100% they have what they needed to prove it's Brian Kohberger, or someone needs to get up and either way, if he's, if it's everything's nefarious like we're seeing, we need someone speaking publicly like this. And I think that was Devil's Advocate's point. He said, I'm not waiting around, not asking anybody's permission. He made a request similar to what Tony Busby just did. Devil's Advocate for the Idaho 4. He's requesting an investigation into the investigation, right? Something like that, similar to that, going to the higher ups of the Attorney General's office, and they have to make a decision on that. It's a request, right? But who's going to speak out like this guy? Who's going to, there's a lot of people doing it on YouTube, but is Brian Enton going to do it? Is Ashley Banfield going to do it? Is Nancy Grace going to do it? You didn't know anyone can do this. Yeah. Well, I mean, look at Alan Jackson. I don't know if he spoke out like this. Not as harsh as this. This guy is ruthless. I like someone called him gangster, right? He was like the gangster attorney over here. From Texas of all places. Not like this guy's in inner city Chicago, but who is going to look at any of this and call it out publicly? So I hope that Devil's Advocate gets the attention. He sent the packets to some of the big name mainstream media places. And I also like that the Devil's Advocate said he is well aware, how did he put it, that he could look like, I don't know if he said jackass or something like that, because he's just requesting an investigation. And if the investigation shows things were on the up and up, there wasn't anything suspicious, they're going to explain. I think one of his examples was with that 2:30 to 3:30 1112 cam. Like, did Ann Taylor already have that? Did they already explain it to her? Like, did they interview people? Do they know what those noises were? And I also like his point is, then tell us. And that's what I've been screaming from the beginning. Just show us, like, shut us up. All right. That was my little soapbox. But I know a lot of people come in here to this channel and they'll see something that I'm showing, like this attorney, right, has nothing to do with the Idaho 4. But trust me, I'm as consumed with the Idaho 4 as most people, and I'm always trying to like maybe use something like this to help with understanding something in the Idaho 4 case or questioning something in the Idaho 4 case. Definitely. All right, I'm going to show you guys this picture I found. Let me take, I got to take, wait a minute, where am I at? Take that down. You can look at my big face for a second. So, let me see if it's showing up or not. Nope. When the first responders go into the house, I was looking at Hunter. And I had a different reason for doing it at first. So I didn't go looking for this particular thing. But I was just really watching more closely all the actions that were going on at that time. And I just saw this weird pose of Hunter. So I screenshot it. I'm like, what on earth is he doing? And let me see if I can make it bigger. Have you guys seen this pose? Thanks, Gwenny. I am glad to have you. Yeah, please pause and make sure you hit the like button, everybody, please. All right, let me make this bigger. If I can. What if I open it with something different? This might help. Let me see. Nope. Can you see his hand? Wait, right there. No, that's smaller. Make it bigger. Look at his hand is down his pants. Did you guys see that? His hand is down his pants. Is Carlos in here again? Oh, you are, babe. I said my big face. Hi, Miss Pottage. Hello. Just making fun of myself. Yeah, isn't that weird? And I like played the video clip. Like he stands like that for a little bit. Like, I mean, is he? I don't know. Some people do it when they're nervous. Some people, I mean, is he hiding something? Is he keeping his hand warm? Is he? I knew I would get some funny comments from this. Make it bigger. I'm trying. Yeah. I'll make it bigger. And then I don't know. Can you see his hand is right there. And it like it kind of hooks right there. Like his arm is all the way down there. And then also like right here, like let me see, are both of his, I got to see if both of his hands are in there. He might have both of his hands in there. Like, is he adjusting something? Look at that. Can you guys see it better now? Does he have a sheath in his pants? I don't know. I just thought it was strange. So I don't have this particular body cam footage pulled up right now to look at, but you all know it's the first responder video. So yeah, I just thought it was something to make note of, right? Something to make note of. It could be harmless, but we also know that he was holding that knife for a while. So I wouldn't want to be putting a knife down my shorts, down that sensitive area, right? Sock drawer. Odd to do. I don't think anybody was in the room with him at the time. I hate this image too. I'll take it down. All right. Everybody's had a good enough look at Hunter's package. Right. Right. Okay. So then what other images did let me find them. They are in here. I'll take that down. Stop sharing. Did it come down? Yeah. Okay. Let me get back. Why isn't this letting me? I got to get back into my drive to pull up the other ones. This isn't letting me. All right. Give me a second. So people were asking, I've heard different things about Jack D's car. So I heard someone say that car leaving at night was a dark, like a wagon. And someone said Jack D drove a dark wagon. I heard some people say he drove a white Elantra, convenient, that I think SG, the Gonsalves family, let him drive. But I was watching the body cam footage, and I don't know if it was Snyder or not. It might have been Snyder. Snyder has like 6 parts of his body cam that Connor posted. And what am I doing? I'm trying to share. Sorry, you guys. Someone's body cam. They go up to Jack D's house, and they right there. They're talking to a roommate, and they're asking him about Jack D, and they say that's his car right there. So this is his car. The roommate pointed it out, and he said, that's his car right there. Let me see if I can make it bigger. And I do have some clips from Snyder's body cam that I wanted to show. And I thought, very smart. So this looks like this is a Volkswagen. I don't know if it's a Jetta. I have the back of it too. Let's see. What is it? No, there. So right here. Can you guys see my mouse when I point it on the picture? Right there. It's a pink arrow. I thought I took a picture of the back of it. Maybe I didn't. Snyder, when Snyder's going around this whole area, there's photos capturing the whole area. He captured, every house, every car that was every house. When he walked past a car, he took photos inside through the glass. He did that to this car. The G fam was driving a blue Hyundai Sonata. Can I 360 the image? I don't know how to do that. It's in the body cam footage though. But it is it's a Volkswagen, right? It's got VW on the front. I understand, Gwenny. I was so disappointed that there was no trial. This whole white car thing with the G fam and Jack, pretty sure it's made up. Well, I mean, that's why. I mean, I've heard 2 different things, Lucy. So I'm like, okay, it's literally on body cam. the roommate says that's his car right there. So there we go. One thing I was able to find. Okay. So I showed Hunter's pick. So I got a couple other nuggets. One of them is about the door being open. Okay. So, and then I think I'm going to end with these body cams when they're canvassing the neighborhood. The dog walker, I don't know if he ever got interviewed. Did he get interviewed? The guy walking his dog? He had to have. Did he say the door was open between 8 and 9? Was the door open between 8 and 9? I think he did. So I wanted to narrow, excuse me for a second. I just had to clear my throat. If the doors open between 8 and 9 in the morning, and I'm using all this footage that's coming out to like compare to what we're learning in the docs and like, see if we can really narrow some things down. So let me, on this camera footage, this is where they're interviewing, where'd I put it? Front door not open. Okay, this one. So this is Officer House's body cam. Video is too small. I don't want. Oh my gosh, what did I do? It's playing a video and I can't find the video. Obviously, it's on. I can hear it. I can't find it. Hold on, you guys. Well, for a second. Can't find it. Don't leave me. I'll find it. I'll find it. Keep opening it in a preview. Okay, this is crazy. Oh, I know. Wait a minute. I can't find it to stop it. Where do I find a preview? I do need help. Oh, is it? Oh, wait, I know what to do. Maybe. Oh my God, I just did it again. Okay, I found it. Oh my gosh. You guys, I have the link. Sorry about that. I have the link. Like all I got to do is click on the link and it kept opening it in a preview and then it was hiding it and I couldn't see it. But I figured it out. I had to go back to the link and all right, let's try it again. Just show me the video. There we go. Okay, of course this is put this up in a tab. There we go. No. This is being crazy. I mean, it didn't do all this crazy stuff for me. Okay. I am so mad right now. I'll get it. It's not working the way I thought it would. Maybe it's on lockdown. It's right there. I got it. I knew I would. Okay. I have, we're not gonna watch the whole video. I have timestamps that I wanna show you. And I finally got it to share. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. So first timestamp is who is this? Officer House. 42 minutes. All right, let me get to 42 minutes. This is when they're going door to door. Okay, right. I think this person's going to talk about what it sounded like about the partying at the house. Okay. So I know we have a lot of questions about the sounds we're hearing between 2:30 and 3:30. So let's listen to what this person says.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm Jason with Moscow Police.
Dago's
Sure
in
you
here. Hi,
noticed all
Dago.
the hustle and bustle down the way here.
Yeah, a little bit. What's up?
Sure. Just trying to kind of talk to some of the folks around the area, see if we can establish anything that seemed out of the ordinary. Were you here all night?
No, I actually work overnight. So
Oh, you do? Gotcha.
Yes.
So, Jeff, nobody sent me that picture. Nobody sent it to me. I was watching the body cam footage myself. Now I can go back and look at who's posted that body cam footage, but I'm pretty sure, well, I have it saved, so I'll know. And I was only going to people's channels that had FOIA requested the video. So, like, I didn't go to like a third party user or something like that. Like, so I didn't go to someone who had messed with it. I went to someone who FOIA requested the video and I knew they didn't do anything to it. And then I was watching it and I screenshot myself what I saw. So I'll go back and see, if it's something I need to correct. I'll try it on a different video. If I don't see it like on a different video, I'll come back and say, oh, I guess it was nothing. Okay.
Gotcha. Do you recall what time you got home?
I got home at 6:30.
6:30. Gotcha. Drove home, walked home.
I drove home.
Gotcha. Did you notice anything strange, odd, out of the ordinary?
Not really when I got home.
No. Could you tell if they were still partying down around the corner?
No, but they were when I left that morning. So
They were.
or when I left that night, I should say.
What time was that?
At like 9:45. I leave right before 10 because that's when I work. There's people in and out and trying to get into in and out of the subdivision area, so it's kind of hard to get in. So
Sure. Anybody out and about walking around that you recall at 6:30 in the morning?
no, sadly not.
Okay.
This is not like a major bombshell or anything like that, but she's describing leaving for work at 9:45 p.m. and he's pointing out the 1122 house, Kaylee, Maddie, Ethan, Xana's house. And she said they were definitely partying at 9:45. Definitely hearing partying sounds. And then I believe the girls leave to go to the corner club like around 10, right? So hearing partying, does that sound like more than the 6 roommates? You know, big party over there. We know that they would leave their house. So if we know Kaylee and Maddie left around 10, I think that was the time, I'm not sure. Did they leave and leave people at their house? You know, so I'm just going through these body cams and picking out times that people witnessed. What did they witness and when, right? So 9:45 is definitely party noises at the house. Okay. I think I want to play the rest of this.
Let's see. I think that's about all I need. If I need to get your name or anything later down the line, that door number should be fine for now.
Yeah, and I'll be awake for the rest of the day. I just slept for my whole day. So
Sure. Yeah, if you recall seeing anything, you know, on your drive home or through this area, you know, if something jogs your memory and you're like, oh yeah, I did see, you know, whatever it was. It may not stand out to you now, but you know, as you kind of stew on it a little bit, you know, if you saw anybody out walking or, you know, running around doing things, somebody that seemed a little out of place or strange, let us know.
Okay, well, thank you.
You just dial 882 cops and say, hey, talk to a cop, got some information. We'll get somebody back over to your room here to chat with you.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks. How are you, bud?
Good. How are you all?
Good. You live in the area?
Yeah, I live just right down there.
Gotcha.
Going door to door asking questions.
Yeah, we're just trying to kind of figure out.
I heard you suspects still at large.
Well, we're kind of unsure still at this point. We just are trying to establish a better timeline of.
I was about to walk down a gas station.
I love another habit.
I mean, I only need a few minutes of your time,
yeah,
but what number are you in there? Yeah.
My roommate's in there too. If you want to talk with us right now?
Oh yeah, sure. That'd be great. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're just playing video games, and then he runs into my room. Dude, there's a homicide on the street.
He's
Okay, this is the guy who's going in to get his roommate. And I really like these two guys because they're trying to get as much information out of the police officer as the police officer is trying to get information out of them. But I think these are the guys that are going to say something about, what did I jot down? They're going to say something about, wait, I did the partying. I think they see 3 girls and 2 guys leaving the house. If this is the right minute marker, this is when it gets to 46 minutes, 3 girls and 2 guys leaving the house. So
got the student text or
no, his boss actually messaged him from Clarkston.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's how we found out. Sure. I talked with, what's your name, sir?
My name is Jason. Yeah,
Jason?
Officer House.
Officer House.
What's up, bud? How are you?
Howdy.
Just kind of going door to. Yeah, go ahead. Just going door to door, trying to see, who was awake, if anybody heard, saw anything out of the ordinary.
My boss actually messaged me and was like, "How far are you away from the murder?" And I was like, "What?" And I looked at the thing he sent me. I was like, "Oh, that's like 50 yards away from my
Right
doorstep."
down the street, right? Were you guys here all night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did this happen last night?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot going on, so
We're probably not allowed.
yeah, not a whole lot I can say.
Yeah.
We try to keep things as close as we can while we're kind of looking into all the elements.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys recall what time?
Sorry.
You guys recall what time you went to sleep?
I probably went to bed, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Oh, so pretty early then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I generally go to bed pretty early because I work down in Liston.
Sure.
So.
Sure. And do you recall?
I was about to say maybe just a little before midnight.
Gotcha. Do you recall what time you guys got up?
I got up about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, I got up about 6 hours. So.
Sure. Anything kind of startle you guys awake at any time of the night that kind of seemed out of the ordinary?
I think so.
Usually there's loud music playing around here at night, so you can't really hear anything but that.
Yeah, I get that. We're up here quite a bit for it. So
I'm assuming there's a gunshot then.
we're still, like I said,
right,
still digging into it.
Sorry.
But there's,
It's like I'm trying to ask questions as lightly as I can to.
yeah, and unfortunately, I can't really
Trying to
give too much. I'm sure that the news will have as much as we're able to release.
Yeah, no,
So,
that's insane.
you guys, I guess if you were sleeping, probably not, but anybody out of the ordinary you don't really see in the area?
Not really. We just generally stay here.
Sure. You guys know any neighbors that are like, I guess, overly disgruntled about the noise and the noise complaints or parties they throw there? Or...
We just moved in what, week and a half, 2 weeks
Oh,
ago.
okay.
Yeah, so we don't know too much about the area yet.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
like around Halloween, there's a lot of a lot of stuff going on and everything like that. But yesterday we were actually driving up the way here and we saw, I think, what was it, like 5 people walking out of that house?
I forgot
Something
about
like that. It was three women and two.
3 women, 2 guys. Both look like, all of them look like college students.
Sure.
Yeah, walking out of that same house.
Do you recall what time that was?
It was like probably an hour before the Vandals game.
Oh, okay.
They were decked out in Vandals.
2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that.
They walked down the street here and met up with a couple people, and they started shouting, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
But man, that was the same exact house, though. We were talking about that earlier. Like, what a freaking coincidence!
So he said 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They left the house in their Vandals gear. Okay.
Something like that. It was three women and two.
3 women, 2 guys.
3 girls,
Both
2
look
guys.
like, all of them look like college students.
Sure.
Yeah, walking out of that same house.
Do you recall what time that was?
It was like probably an hour before the Vandals game.
Oh, okay.
They were decked out in Vandals.
2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that.
They walked down the street here and met up with a couple people, and they started shouting, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
But man, that was the same exact house, though. We were talking about that earlier. Like, what a freaking coincidence!
Yeah.
Because
That
we made a bad joke. We saw 3 girls and 2 guys.
Yeah, so we're like, wonder what goes on in that house.
All right.
And then all of a sudden, like, this happens, like, well then.
We're really wondering what goes on in that house.
Well, I appreciate your guys' time. I won't keep you too much longer.
that is creepy. And it's also I heard somebody, like an expert of some type, talking about memory and how, you know, if someone asks you what you had for dinner on a certain day, you wouldn't remember probably, but if it was like an anniversary dinner at a special place, that's going to stick in your memory and you'd be able to recall that, right? Something like that. These guys remember seeing those girls and those people because they made a bad joke about it, right? And so that's probably helps it. Now, I don't know if their time would be right. Like, don't the games usually start at like noon or something like that? Does anybody know what time the football game actually started that day? I'm sure I could find that out, but so one guy says probably about an hour before the game, and then the other guy says 2:30 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I would think the game would be like, I don't know, unless they start later. I don't know. All right, there's another couple that gets interviewed on this one that I thought had, what do they have? They have, oh, this is talking about the door. Okay. Oh, and the two guys banging on the door. So we're going to finish this clip.
If I need to get names or anything, I'll come back, but the door number's just okay for now. So,
Is it okay if I walk down to Lube and go to the gas station, or you guys?
Yeah, if you don't have, I mean, as long as you don't go across. There's a little one here. If you go up over the retaining wall, I mean, what's roped off is off limits. So, other than that, it's pretty good. But, yeah, right in front of that truck, there's a little step up, and it'll lead you up there to the top of Linda Linda Lane there. That'd probably be the easiest way. That way, you're not getting a bunch of cops and detectives like side-eyeing you, right?
What the hell is this kid doing?
It's always an awkward feeling.
Always returns to the scene of the crime. Anyways,
yeah,
of course. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.
I really hope it's fine.
Appreciate that.
What did he say? If I need your name? Let me see.
A little step
I was
up,
reading
and it'll
that.
lead you up there to the top of Linda Linda Lane there. That'd probably be the easiest way. That way, you're not getting a bunch of cops and detectives like side-eyeing you, right?
What the hell is this kid doing?
It's always an awkward feeling.
Always returns to the scene of the crime.
You guys, he just said it, and I know I didn't go back far enough. He just said, where's it at?
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
He said side eye. You don't want anybody side eyeing you. Did I go back far enough? Yeah, I don't think I did. Back it up a little bit more. Probably too much. Isn't he writing their name down there? What's he writing down? Let's see.
Both look like, all of them look like college students.
Sure.
Yeah, that same house.
Do you recall what time that was?
It was like probably an hour before the Vandals game.
Oh, okay.
They were decked out in Vandals.
2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that.
They walked down the street here and met up with a couple people, and they started shouting, "Hey, how's it going?" You know, just like, but man, that was the same exact house, though. We were talking about that earlier. Like, what a freaking coincidence!
Yeah,
because we made a bad joke. We saw 3 girls and 2 guys.
Yeah, so we're like, wonder what goes on in that house, and then all of a sudden, like this happens. Like, well, then
we're really wondering what goes on in that house.
Well, I appreciate your guys' time. I won't keep you too much longer. If I need to get names or anything, I'll come back, but the door number's just fine for now. So,
is it okay if I walk down to Lube and go to the gas station, or you guys?
Yeah, if you don't have.
He just said, if we need your name and numbers, we'll come back for it. He literally just said, why not get it right now? Oh my goodness, that's great. They got everybody else's names? I don't know.
I mean, as long as you don't go across.
Yeah.
There's a little one here. If you go up over the retaining wall, I mean, what's roped off is off limits. So other than that, it's pretty good. But yeah, right in front of that truck, there's a little step up, and it'll lead you up there to the top of Linda Linda Lane there. That'd probably be the easiest way. That way, you're not getting a bunch of cops and detectives like side eyeing you, right?
What the hell is this kid doing?
It's always an awkward feeling.
It turns to scene of crime.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.
All right.
Those guys are just being good to
Appreciate that. Hi. Sure.
So last night I left to go get food and come back, and when I left, I'm guessing it's probably that house right over there that you guys are kind of looking at, or I don't know if it is, but there is like right where the other drive up is. That's where I parked my car. At the bottom part of that apartment, there is these two guys asking to be let in. Like, hey, I'm here. Can you let me in?
Gotcha.
And then when I was driving away, that they were walking away from the building.
Okay.
So they didn't get in, but like they were calling someone to let them in for some reason.
Okay.
And that was a little strange, and so I don't know if that helps at all.
Do you recall what time that was?
I can look it up real quick. I
Sure.
have it on my phone because I ordered it through the McDonald's app, so I can kind of look up the approximate time when I left.
Yeah, that'd be great. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I was doing laundry, and so I was all over the place, so I don't remember too much, but let's see if this will look.
And would that have been the first house on the left down here, or that?
Just the first one, like the closest one here. I just saw because I was looking down. I was looking down because I was walking up to my car because it was on that slant.
Yep.
And so I looked down and I saw them and I was like, that's kind of freaking weird. And so
He does differ information, I believe.
Business and days. Alexandria, yes. I really like it. Just can I please? Yesterday.
And they would have been at that kind of lower door right in front of the parking lot then.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
lower door part.
Yep.
So the front door.
Come on, you just.
It's going to say a time and everything. Takes for a while.
All it says is yesterday. Thank you. Let me look up one more thing, see if it's on there.
Sure.
Actually, I should have. I went to McDonald's, so I'm like, I could probably find out where.
Right.
Going to like receipts and some sort. Not that one. Come on. Sorry, I'm really trying here.
No, all right. While you're doing that, can I get your first name, please?
I'm so mad we didn't catch
Stuff.
them.
Here, I have my ID as well.
Oh, perfect.
Right here. If you just want that right there. Will I get this?
Some of the initials that are interviewed that I don't. Everybody knows.
So the order was at 5:41 was when it was put in. So I think I left here about 5:30. Yeah, sounds about right.
And that would have been 5:30 p.m.
PM. Yep.
Gotcha.
5:30.
And it was kind of weird because there were a whole bunch of people here for when I was coming back. So that's why I kind of remember a lot of people being. I was like, why do I remember that? Yeah, because I drove in. So.
Excellent. I'll hand that back to you. Appreciate it. Yeah. If you think of anything else,
And I'm just gonna ask because I do have to work tonight. Do you know how long you guys are gonna be here and doing your little work?
if you need to get out for work, yeah, just kind of flag one of us down and say,
Okay.
"Can I squeeze by to get out for work?" And
Yeah, that's okay. That's the only thing.
generally we can squeeze some cars through.
Yeah, I'm not trying to disturb you guys or do anything. I'm just trying to get
we
to
understand
work.
life goes on, so we gotta let you guys get to where.
Wait a minute. Did I zone out, or did she say what she heard the guys doing? Is it cut out? I just listened to it last night. Let me rewind it a little bit.
And it was kind of weird because there were a whole bunch of people here. I have my ID as well. These things.
All right.
There's these two guys asking.
Okay, right here.
Hi. Sure.
So last night, I left to go get food and come back. And when I left, I'm guessing it's probably that house right over there that you guys are kind of looking at, or I don't know if it is, but there is like right where the other drive up is. That's where I parked my car. At the bottom part of that apartment, there's these two guys asking to be let in. It's like, hey, I'm here. Can you let me in?
Gotcha.
And then when I was driving away, that they were walking away from the building.
Okay.
So they didn't get in, but like they were calling someone to let them in for some reason.
Okay.
And that was a little strange, and so I don't know if that helps at all.
Do you recall what time that was?
I can look it up real quick. I
Sure.
have it on my phone because I ordered it through the McDonald's app, so I can kind of give you approximate time when I left.
Yeah, that'd be great. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I was doing laundry, and so I was all over the place, so I don't remember too much, but let's see if this will look.
I think she ends up saying 5:30.
Let's see if this thing will look. Yesterday. Let me look at one more thing, see if it's on there.
Sure.
One. So the order was at 5:41 was when it was put in. So I think I left here about 5:30. Yeah, sounds about right.
And that would have been 5:30 p.m.?
PM, yep.
Gotcha.
So she knows this because she ordered McDonald's that was going to be ready at 2:41. And so she was leaving around 5:30 and no PM. So if we know now that 3 girls and 2 guys left the 1122 house. We're talking about Saturday afternoon during the football game. This is Saturday afternoon during the football game. 3 girls and 2 guys left the 1122 house at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 2 guys show up at the house at 5:30 p.m. They're at the front door. And she didn't say they were knocking on the door. She said they were like talking, hey, I'm here, let me in. So they were like on the phone with somebody. So that would be like a phone evidence, right? Which one of the roommates got a phone call at 5:30 p.m. from somebody asking to come inside? Right. And that would be on victims or Bethany and Dylan's phones. I gotta write that down myself. 5:30, 2 guys. No, they weren't knocking. They were calling to get in. And then she said they didn't get in because she saw them leave. The football game started at 4 p.m. Thank you. Because that's interesting too, because didn't Emily said she worked the football game till like halftime? Well, that might be about right. I don't know. I don't remember what time. If we looked at Emily's interview, what time she said she left. I thought she said halftime. And then went home. But halftime would be like what? 6 p.m., maybe a couple hours. All right. I think, let me see. I'm going to save the rest of this stuff. I have some more, just a couple things. Oh, wait, I didn't show you the door one. Where's the door? Front door not open. Oh, because this isn't over yet. All right. Yep. We still got a little bit more. Okay. We'll end with the front door information.
And it was kind of weird because there was a whole bunch of people here when I was coming back. So that's why I kind of remember a lot of people being. I was like, why do I remember that?
For
yeah, 'cause I
sure.
drove in, so.
Hi, Wade. Yes, you do.
Excellent. I'll hand that back to you. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you think of anything else.
And I'm just going to ask that do you have to work tonight? Do you know how long you guys going to be here and doing your little work?
If you need to get out for work,
Doing
yeah, just
work.
kind of flag one of us down and say,
Okay.
"Can I squeeze by to get out for work?" And
Yeah, that's okay. That's no thing.
generally we can squeeze some cars through.
Yeah, I'm not trying to disturb you guys or do anything. I'm just trying to get
we
to work.
understand life goes on, so we gotta let you guys get to where you need to get going.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
We will accommodate the best we can to get you out.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Of course.
You have a good day. That's about all I can remember from that night. I mean, I think the person, all I can remember them wearing was like a tan jacket. One of the people that was.
Gotcha.
That's
Tan
all I can
jacket.
remember. And so that was the person asked me to be let into.
And he was like hollering up.
Well, he was calling someone.
Oh,
on
he
a
was like,
phone.
"Yo, let us in."
Yeah, he's like,
Gotcha.
"Yo, let us in." Yeah, that's exactly what he said too. He's like, "Hey, we're here. Let us in."
Okay. Excellent.
Did you hear that, Meg? They just repeated it again. Because he said they hollering up, and she said no. They called somebody and they said, "Hey, I'm here." Okay.
I think that's all me.
All right. Perfect.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks.
That was that 1123. Yeah. All right, this is about
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
My name is Jason with Moscow Police. I'm sure you've noticed all the hustle and bustle going on here.
I just drove past it as well.
Yeah. Were you here all night last night? Were you in?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
And all day I've been at work.
Gotcha.
exactly
Do you recall what time you went to work?
Yeah, 7 in the morning.
Okay.
And I got back here at 2.
Gotcha. Anything seem out of the ordinary when you left for work, or?
No, I can think of now.
Gotcha. Could you tell if they were still, I guess, partying down here? I know they tend to do that quite a bit.
There was no noise, but I didn't notice like a front door or anything broken in or anything.
Gotcha. So everything just, nothing caught your eye or
No.
stuck out to you as strange.
No.
Did you see anybody out and about walking around that caught your eye as strange?
Not
or?
at 7 in the morning, though.
Okay. Gotcha. Do you recall what time you went to bed last night?
Yeah, I fell asleep watching my phone at 11.
Gotcha. Anything at that time that seemed, I mean, can you hear the parties when they're down there, or does it stay pretty quiet up this far?
Not usually. When they have really loud parties, I can. But
Sure.
yeah, normally I don't hear their parties very well.
Okay.
I'll occasionally hear people like walking past here, but
Anything seem excessively loud last night or stand out of the ordinary?
no, I heard like some thumping from apartments around, but
Right. Like
nothing from
music,
over there.
music thumping or like bass or.
Like somebody knocking on wood or
Sure.
something.
Sure.
But that's just my neighbors.
Yeah. Let's see. And where do you work at?
I work at.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I'll need to take up any more of your time. I appreciate.
No, I really hope you find out what.
Yeah, we're trying to gather as much information as we can, and a lot of times the neighbors are the best resources.
Yeah, that's it. It was when I left for work, it wasn't obvious that it was broken into. So.
Okay. Cool. Have you heard anything?
So it's interesting how different people that they talk to are going into this with like different scenarios in their minds. So this kid is imagining a break-in. And so when he left in the morning, he clearly saw the front of the house. And I think the officer asked him and clarified, and the kid says there was no sign of a break-in. And I think earlier he said he saw the front door. So the front door is not open at 7 a.m., but I believe it is open at 8 a.m., right? According to the dog walker. So this is what I'm talking about, trying to narrow it down. So at some point between, sorry, I got to clear my throat. At some point between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. is that when the door gets opened. So now we have this like more narrowed down time. So if anything else comes out or, yeah, maybe getting more body cam footage or the 112. I don't know how would we see the front of the house from 7 to 8 a.m., but just trying to narrow that down. So to me, it seems the front door got opened at between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. And then I want to look to see, is there a document where they interviewed the dog walker? I don't think I watched all of Jules's morning time footage from 1112. I know she has like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., I believe. Did you guys watch that? Hi, Krista. 8:30-ish. Okay. Sometime. Okay. The dog walker is about 8:30. Can you see the dog walker? Does she have footage that late? Oh, Jeremy is the dog walker. Okay. Thank you. I think I heard that last night or on one of the videos, I think. I mean, it could be a simple little thing like that. Like if you could actually see somebody who opened the front door, I think that would be very telling. Don't you guys agree? Oh, so from 6 to 7, there's a dog outside. Another clip that I have, I'll show tomorrow, is I think it's Snyder's body cam. He's the one that has all the different parts. He interviews one of the neighbors. I think it's across the street from Jack D, somewhere in that area. And it's interesting how I watched that body cam footage before, but I didn't watch it. But it took me a couple more times. Like this, my point is, it's not the first time I watched it. And she said, I was taking my dog out all night. Isn't that weird? I was taking my dog out all night. Why does your dog have a UTI? Like, why are you taking your dog out all night? Like, I don't have my pets anymore. They've all passed on, but you know, you take your dog out that one last time and then you go to bed and then you get up in the morning and you take your dog out. So she said I was taking my dog out all night. Right? What's going on with these animals around here? So we'll look at that tomorrow. I think there's a lot of new people that are coming in here. I started last week trying to clarify information about the DNA, especially the DNA that was, or the blood, I should say, like the different blood evidence that was found in the house. And what I'm curious about is on the beer pong table. So I'm planning on covering that tomorrow, and then also looking at the Snyder body cam. A little more, some more nuggets of information. So this was a great crowd in here today. That's so awesome. Espresso Eyes. I love that name. Nice. Oh, what happened? There you are. You have a security camera. When setting them up, they want to be named for the app. Oh, yeah. I did see someone's camera question earlier about how the footage is stored, talking about the 1112 camera. That's a continuously running camera. And I think I asked that question in Dago's live yesterday. But I don't know what video we were watching, but I think it got answered. Either an SD card, so all the footage goes right onto an SD card, but you would need a lot of storage on that SD card for that, or it goes up to the cloud, right? And so we were thinking the 1112 house probably had it. You could do both, I think. Had it going to the cloud for sure, because they were able to access it on their phone. So for it to be on your phone, you got to be accessing it, you know, through the internet. So I hope that helps clarify that. I want to thank everybody that was in here today. Awesome comments in the chat. I'm so glad that everybody was patient with me and coming in, because I was showing the Texas A&M case with Brianna Aguilera. And I know it kind of caught a few people off guard because we all want to be Idaho 4 all the time. But I'm glad that you were patient and watched it with me and could see like a few of the connections that we could make between the cases. And I enjoyed just watching that guy destroy the investigation that the police were doing. So it was nice to have a moment of, wow, you know, look at that, instead of like all this aggravating doom and gloom that we always, then frustration we get with the Idaho 4 case. So I am going to keep following that case too, because Brianna Aguilera deserves justice, just like Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. So I am going to keep following that. But hi, Moonlit Baby. Hello. I'm seeing some green. Lots of green members in here today. Appreciate you all. Thanks, Dago. I am going to end this, and I'm sure Dago's probably planning on going live. So I'll meet you guys all over there if he is. Also, I see Reality with Krista Marie in the chat, and she has a reality TV YouTube show. You guys go over there, because if you watch those like Real Housewives shows and stuff like that, it's fun to talk with other people about it, especially those crazy cases, and it could give you a good little break from Idaho 4. So Reality with Krista Marie, go follow her too. Thanks again, everybody. And please hit the like button on your way out. Please, please, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. We love to have you here. And I have a live scheduled for tomorrow, same time, I believe, at noon. So I'll see you guys then. Let's see. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Happy unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we called it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew, now right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me, that's you and me. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.